Imagine a massive star exhausting its nuclear fuel, causing it to collapse under its own gravity. As the star is compressed under immense gravitational pressure, it becomes infinitely dense, resulting in the formation of a black hole. What if this is not a cosmic endpoint, but the beginning of a new universe? Instead of matter collapsing infinitely, a big bounce occurs and a portal opens to a new dimension. This dimensional shift is called overheat.
Don't want to lose contact with life. You let yourself be conditioned by machines.
Everything else comes from outer space, from unknown regions. Humanity's life depends upon the unknown knowledge is laughable or tribute to the human being. Come on! Yeah! And when we wanted to walk, they took away the strength that we left to walk. When we wanted to talk, they took away the cafe when we left to talk. When we wanted some shade, then they took away the tree. And when we wanted some love, they took
In the beginning, nova heat resonates with a deep sonic hum. The hot, dense plasma of quantum particles creates pressure waves that move through space as sound. As the universe expands and cools, this primordial symphony shapes the distribution of matter. Planets, stars, and galaxies emerge from this cosmic music. Sound shapes chemistry. Chemistry creates complex minerals. Minerals become organic life.
They took away. They took everything away. Even the pain, they took it away.
Nova heat becomes the nightmare safari.
They took
They
everything
want to work around your homes. They have a 125 miles per hour consciousness. No daylight. Drive all night. 4 drops. 2 tablets. An AM FM spike. The garage is the concrete box of partially dim mechanics. The depository for light industry. The night nurse fluffs the cushions and tunes the smile.
The myth of sound as a fundamental creative force can be found in origin stories throughout time. In Hinduism, the sacred Om is the primordial sound of creation. Chinese Taoism's way is a sonic vibration birthing existence. Ancient Sumerians believed that god Enki shaped the world with sound. Aboriginal Dreamtime features ancestral beings singing the world alive. Through the ages, sound becomes word. Word becomes language. Language becomes civilization. Year 1975, information scientist Adita Smiley has a cold. In a chemical delirium, she synthesizes the first plant mineral hybrid species using an accidental combination of acoustic vibrations. A quartz crystal is fused with a Peruvian torch cactus. The rigid symmetry of the crystal merges with the flexible complexity of organic matter. This novel material becomes the first transmitter of holographic waves, phantom vibrations that are simultaneously present and absent. Year 1995. Physicist Leonard Susskind articulates the theory that the three-dimensional world of ordinary experience, the universe filled with galaxies, stars, planets, houses, boulders, and people, is a hologram, an image of reality coded on a distant two-dimensional surface.
You are looking at a heart valve.
Manipulation. Words become instruments of control and power.
Microwave techniques and equipment have become part of day-to-day telephone and television transmission. With microwave, calls ride a radio beam from tower to tower instead of going through cables.
Florida, 25% Punjabi. The cat carrier girls are smoking at the Orange Julius. This is the vacant mall. Everybody left for the internet except a few moving packs of adolescents. The gloss of consumerism now has a layer of dust. The merch is piled in corners. The lights are bright. The smile pumps in phasing patterns from the colony sound. This is the place for psychic driving. It is also a good place to be a vegetarian.
Year 520 BC. Ancient Greek philosopher Pythagoras develops the theory that the sun, moon, and all planets in the universe emit a unique vibrating sound based on their orbital revolution. This is the cosmic symphony. Inaudible to the human ear, he believes these sounds can be heard by the soul. He calls this the music of the spheres. Year 1951. Dr. Cameron develops a new psychiatric method that uses lived audio messages to reprogram a subject's identity through the sonic erasure of psychological wounds. It is called psychic driving. Although this therapy was originally intended to heal mental ailments, it was quickly adopted by the CIA as a means for mind control.
Nova Heat is the land of replicated lunch, technical images, and air-conditioned romance. Some call it a sci-fi home decorating manual. Others call it a walk in the park if the park was built as a teenage slasher fantasy. The park was actually an English garden the railways call the Lane Meadow. This is where the flat-screen generation does their mirror trade. The bamboo union used plants as signals. That shrub looks like a sentence. The aqua palm is a verb. The rubber tree is a comma. The cactus an exclamation point. The runaway youth can read the meadow. Grammar for the wave of the future boys.
Year 1979. The plant-mineral hybrid species paves the way for the construction of the first neuromorphic transistors, an analog circuit comprised of microscopic vibrating hairs. These devices mimic the neurobiological architecture of plants and animals. This leads to the creation of the first holographic communication network known only as the Smile. Year 1984, the superstring revolution begins. The unreliability of time and space on the quantum scale is dealt with through a theory that all elementary particles and their interactions are comprised of one-dimensional, vibrating streams. The properties of a particle and subsequently everything in the universe are determined by the frequency of the stream's vibration, or the sound the stream makes.
kingdom of culture, beauty, art. It would be better to say that because this is the proof of it. The stones speak. The stones are speaking through vibrations of beauty, vibrations of discipline, vibrations of precision. Yes, the stones speak to people of planet Earth. Somewhere else on the other side of nowhere, there's another place in space, beyond what you know as time. One, two, three, play. About 10 years ago, New York Times named Black Bob as a space age. And I have.
Year 1937. Iconic jazz musician Sun Ra had a visionary experience that changed the course of his musical career and gave birth to the Afrofuturist movement. He said of the experience, "My whole body changed into something else. I could see through myself. And I went up. I wasn't in human form. I landed on a planet that I identified as Saturn. They teleported me and I was down on a stage with them. They wanted to talk with me. They had one little antenna on each ear. A little antenna over each eye. They talked to me. They told me to stop attending college because there was going to be great trouble in schools. The world was going into complete chaos. I would speak through music and the world would listen. Year 2023. The phantom vibrations of the holographic network generate endless variations of mathematical identities.
This is the chemistry of an unconscious cheesecake. Zones for the transfer of fantasy. Biochemical. Interior decorated. 3-act structure. Fashion symbols.
The smile is now a self-replicating organism. Autonomous and ready to rebuild psychic driving. The network no longer requires human control. The smile is the musician. Nova Heat is the instrument.
Spaceship Earth!